Well, those who feel comfortable in saying the N-word feel comfortable in saying the N-word. And then there are white people who don't feel comfortable in saying the N-word, but they say the N-word, and they are discomfortable when they say it because people make them discomfortable when they say it. And then there are others that will say it regardless of who is comfortable or not comfortable, including themselves. They'll just say it anyway. And so you have different white people who will use that word like they use any word, like all people use any word, regardless of what the word is, and what their comfort level is determines by them, for whatever reason, they do or do not feel comfortable with the word. Mm-hmm. So if you ask about the word itself and what the compensatory code says about it, that's in the word guide. And the word used to disturb me until I thought about what the word means. And it took me some time to discover that the word didn't have a definition, because I was curious about how the word, because we called it the magic word at one time. Mm-hmm. Okay. We say there's something magical about that word, that one word. Out of all the words in the English language, what's so magical about that word that it causes people to do all sorts of things? And other people are very comfortable with the use of the word, like black people. All right? Write it in songs and all like that, and be jumping up and grinning and laughing all the time they're using it. Okay? That's one level of comfort. And then other people listening to it will be uncomfortable, including some white people. Listening to black people use the word, and they will be uncomfortable. So are we talking about comfort, or are we talking about what does the word really mean? What does it really mean in its true essence? And so I thought about this for several years because it's a very serious word. Why? Because people say it's serious. So I want to know what's serious about the word and why people react to it the way that they do. And different people react different ways. So I came up with an analysis first. I looked at the word and looked it up in dictionaries and whatnot. And it took me a little while to notice something about the definitions, because everything, when you're talking about a word, is about definitions. So it said it was a derogatory term for a person of color. That's basically what all definitions of the word, when used in a dictionary, say. They have different variations of it, but they say it's derogatory for a person of color, a person of African descent, or a person who is Negroid, etc., etc., etc. Dictionary after dictionary after dictionary after dictionary after dictionary. Just look at stacks of them and look at the word and talk about the word in depth. Look for the origin of the word. Some people say it has a Spanish origin and all like that. And so I said, but what does the word mean in function that causes people to be upset or not be upset, like when black people use it? Sometimes they say they're doing it with means of affection. Hey, that's my N, fill in the blank. You are my N if you don't get no bigger. I've heard that expression. You are my N word if you don't get no bigger, and making it rhyme. You are my N if you don't get no bigger. Okay? And everybody laughs if they're black. Okay? Now, so what does the word really mean in essence? So I came to the conclusion that the dictionary definition, in most dictionaries, the key term in the definition is what? Derogatory. But here's what. It doesn't tell why. And that's why the word is so powerful. Why is it derogatory when applied to a person of color? It doesn't say. And that's why any word can be used that doesn't have a clear definition is a powerful word. They could say anything. A little while ago, I heard about a word called macaca. And a person says, oh, yeah, they call people macacas in certain parts of the world, meaning, you know, and refers to some dark people. And that's a derogatory term, you know, that they use. They say, well, what's the definition of a macaca? What is a macaca? Say, well, a macaca is a species of monkey. So actually you're calling a person a monkey, all right? But when you use the N-word, you're not calling a person a monkey. The minute that people found out that macaca was a species of monkey, it lost its power. Why? Because it had a definition, that's why. So I came up with a compensatory definition for the word, for the N-word that's in the book. I won't repeat it on there, that I say applies to non-white people, and when somebody calls me that, it works for me. That compensatory definition. When somebody calls me that word, the N-word, it actually works for me with that definition that I gave it. A compensatory definition, because it's a counter-racist definition. The power of the word all these years has been that the word, the so-called N-word, has no clarified definition, and that is what makes it powerful. They could have used any word. Stop and think about it. Any word. Doesn't make any difference what the word is. They could stop using the N-word and substitute a new word, just don't give it a definition, and then apply it to black people. Say this word only applies to people of color, but don't give it a definition. That word, that new word, will become instantly powerful, because that's what gives a word real power, when you put it out there and get people reacting to it, but it has no definition.